Thank you for joining us today for another episode of IDP TV. Today we're going to be talking to David Guy Stevens, who is running for the 18th Circuit Judicial Court for the O'Shea vacancy. Thank you for coming in, speaking with us today.
Well, thanks for having me. This is exciting.
Great. So one of the first things that I think people are always wondering is, why are you running?
Well, I love being an attorney. The reason I got into law is because I believe in justice. Attorneys are advocates. What that means is attorneys have clients usually, and we have to do our best for that client. So we have to advocate for that client, and sometimes that means you feel like you're on the right side of justice, and sometimes you might not. Judges don't have those restrictions. They listen to the facts, the testimonies, the evidence, the arguments, and they make a decision based in law. And that's justice. And that's what's so appealing to me.
Oh, that's very true. Now, what are the circuit courts and what experience do you have in them? I know it's kind of there's a variety of different layers of courts and it's kind of confusing.
Sure, yes, absolutely. So thank you for the question. Circuit courts are the trial courts of Illinois. So there's the Illinois Circuit Courts, and then the next step up would be the Illinois Appellate Courts, and then the Illinois Supreme Court. So the circuit courts handle essentially 4 different categories. They handle criminal cases, felonies, misdemeanors, traffic, in both DUI in both adult and juvenile cases. There's the domestic relations, which is divorce, orders of protection, child custody, matters like that. There's chancery, which are the courts of equity. That's basically suits not involving money. And then there's the law division, which is also civil suits involving money. And I've had experience in all of them. I've either prosecuted or defended over 10,000 criminal cases in felony, misdemeanor, DUI, traffic. Also, in the domestic relations, I've litigated divorce cases, child support matters, visitation. As a prosecutor, I enforced child support. I worked in the abuse and neglect courtroom as a public defender. I've done orders of protection. I do pro bono legal services for victims of violence. And in the civil areas, I've done personal injury cases, contracts, collections with mechanics liens. I've even done a civil rights case.
Wow, that's a whole lot of experience. Then could you tell us about some of your trial experience?
Absolutely. So I have 170 trials, and 26 of them have been jury trials. So in those cases, I've put on and cross-examined expert witnesses. I've had trials where I had to lay foundation for scientific evidence. I've also had trials where we had no direct evidence at all, and it was all circumstantial. So I've ran the gamut of experiences in trial. I could go on with stories and stories and stories of interesting things that happen at trial. But recently I had a trial where there was involved police abuse, and we won that trial, and now we are moving into a civil rights action.
Wow, that's exciting. Now, I know you've been active in the local community for some time and with the Democratic Party. Could you tell us a little bit about your community activities?
Absolutely. So beginning with the Democratic Party, I'm obviously a Democrat, and I've been involved with the Democratic Party for some time. I put on or go around and giving talks on petitions. So that's when a candidate wants to run for office, they have to fill out petitions, and so I've given talks on how to do that. I've also helped candidates set up their petitions and make sure everything's legal and proper. I've also helped candidates, once their petitions are all filled out, making sure that they're good to file. And I've helped candidates in court when they've been challenged on some matter involving their petitions and their candidacy, all with great success. In fact, this year when I've done those talks, it was the first time that we never had a Democrat challenged who worked with us.
That's great. And then I know you've been active in the community as well.
Yes, sorry. So, yeah, I'm very committed to the community. I'm a mentor. I've mentored young attorneys, aspiring paralegals, at-risk high school students. I provide pro bono services for victims of violence. That's free legal services, free legal representation. I donate my time for numerous charitable organizations. I'm a former school teacher, so I continue my strong support of public education. I talk in schools as well as volunteer to judge mock trial competitions. That's a lot of fun. I've done it for junior high, high school, some undergrad and law school competitions.
Wow. Now, is there anything else that you'd like voters to know about before they vote for you, hopefully starting on February 6th through March 17th?
Well, the great thing about this year is things are changing in Dupage County. In 2018, we had a surge, a blue wave, and a lot of Democrats were elected, and that's in Dupage County. That was not very common, I guess, before that. And this year is a very special year because in the judicial race, there are 4 open seats. And so we could potentially have 4 Democrats be elected into the judiciary. And so it's very important. The judiciary has been controlled by Republicans for forever. And although we should keep politics out of the courtroom, I think it's important to have a judiciary that represents the community. So it should have both Republicans and Democrats. In order for me to achieve my goals, I need your support. I'm David Guy Stevens, and I'm asking for your vote for Dupage County Circuit Court Judge.
Thank you, David. Thank you for watching another episode of IDP TV. And again, please register to vote and check your registration now online. You can also start mail-in voting and voting in person on February 6th, 2020 through March 17th, 2020. Thank you very much and have a great day.